know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back bay. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. If you guys haven't been watching, I think you have. We've had a lot of special guests on the show. And today, Andrea Urciuoli is back. She's taken a break from us. She's been able to relax, get herself together with some incredible stuff going on in her life right now. And she's back with another great message for you guys. And Andrea, I thank you so much for being back on the show and bringing another great message for us.
Great to be back. It's been a while, but the breaks are good, right?
Exactly. We need them.
Yeah.
And guys, when Andrea showed up today, we got into this massive conversation that created the message we have for you guys today. And what it started out was the nitty-gritty stuff, the work that we have to put in on the side, or what you do in the meantime between events in your life. And how this sparked was Andrea and I were talking about work that we have to put in, whether we want to do it or not. And I was explaining how I just launched my website, BillyGLifeCoaching.com. And Andrea, her website is on the way. She's putting the work in. But it's the nitty-gritty stuff where you're looking at all this work you have to do and you don't want to do it. But you know that if you can do it, it's going to get you to that next level. It's going to get your name out there more. It's going to get you to where you want to be. So in this conversation, it started growing to the point where we really started to see the experiences you go through in the meantime, in between experiences in your life that help you grow. So we wanted to depict that to you guys today about the nitty-gritty stuff and how you actually grow as a person when you can actually get yourself to put the time in on the in-between or the nitty-gritty material.
Right. Sort of that, so I'll piggyback onto that, like sort of that lull in life. We'll call it that lull.
Yeah.
When I had explained what happened to me a couple of years ago when I decided to get my divorce and go through this life-changing, what I thought was catastrophic and bad at the time, and I labeled it, and I said, oh, now it's going to be not good for a while, and all the negative bullet points were in my brain. But then quickly, as I started to do this, this walk by myself, being alone and not having my kids with me, which I thought was so traumatic. How do you do this? Like, how do you get up in the morning and not take care of somebody and feed somebody and talk to somebody? Well, it didn't take long to realize that's part of the evolution. That's how I evolved to be more grounded and stand on my own 2 feet, because I had to introduce me to me again. Yeah. And that is crucial in life, because I think most people are afraid to experience that oneness. Because that oneness, they automatically think oneness, me being alone, is separateness, that they're disconnected, they're different, I'm not like them, that family's whole, they have more to offer the world than me because I'm broken, and that's absolutely not. We all, it's our birthright to be happy, and we all deserve to be with people, but we actually deserve to figure it out in the meantime, to be alone, to discover. I always say this, like in my past videos, to actually be in nature, to actually do your breath work, and this is all under the umbrella of mindfulness.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, I like how you put it, where you know, in the meantime, like we keep saying, or in between events, like with your events in your life and how you grew into what you're accomplishing now. I want everyone to grasp, like, whether you're going through a traumatic experience in your life, or heck, you just did something that you accomplished something and you're trying to figure out where to go next or how to get to that next level. What you do in between there defines what that next event will be. So Andrea, with her experience right there, where she went through a traumatic experience in her life, and it caused her to find that oneness, to self-actualize, where she could actually be connected and really see what her life has to offer the world and what the world has to offer to her life, she needed to go through the experience. And since she actually got up and put the work in the meantime, the nitty-gritty stuff on herself, she is now accomplishing so much more in her life. She is now bringing more to more people, her clients, who she brings her yoga and Pilates to. She's able to do that because she went through that. So this nitty-gritty stuff, just like how we started this message on website talk and how we're going to get our websites out there, that's the nitty-gritty material you have to do for your business. But that, it looks like a mountain you have to climb, but when you start chipping away at that in between, you know, for me, speaking engagement, I want to get to the next level, get your website together and launch it. In the meantime, I didn't just sit down and like, all right, well, just wait for the next speaking gig to happen and the next client to come through.
Right.
No, you put the work in so you can get to the next level, the nitty-gritty in the meantime. So whether you're right now going through an experience, or you've been through an experience, are you in the meantime right now where you should be putting the work in? Or did you just get done with something and you got to figure out, all right, is there something else I have to do right now? But
you just said what did you say? Self-actualization.
Yes. Yeah.
So just quickly, you know, this video isn't about that, but we'll just pick it apart for a second. That people that are self-actual, first of all, you're not born self-actualized. It is a process. Yeah. And a lot of people don't even know what the term is. And people that are self-actualized are, there's an array of things. You're not judgmental with others and of course yourself. It starts there. Yeah. You're okay with saying, I'm not ready. Yeah. I haven't fully developed. You'll put that out there without fear of being judged. Yeah. Your ego is lower. We've talked about ego. These are all sort of the videos that we've done together. Exactly. You are less fearful of saying, you know, if somebody says, you know, for an example, what happened to you two? You and your girlfriend broke up. What happened? And you're not going to say, well, we broke up. It didn't work out. It's okay to say, yes, she left me and things didn't work out and I'm feeling really bad right now, but I'm going to get through this. So I prefer to be alone for a while. You don't have that fear of judgment. Yeah. So when somebody approaches me and says, I want you to work with me, I want you to train me, I heard you're a Pilates expert or whatever, and if I lie and say, everything's great, my website's up, well, that's actually not true. I'm evolving, I'm getting it together, I can work with you, but I'm not fully out there. But let's start something. Let's work on it's not living in fear. Exactly. Of saying, I'm not ready. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No, exactly. And I think that's so powerful in itself. And like you said, that wasn't necessarily the beginning topic, but it's so true, because how many of us live in fear of that judgment, just like you touched on? Like, whether it's relationship or whether it's business or whatever it is. Business or pleasure, right. That goes for anything, where people fear the judgment of others, so they may lie about something, or they may fear the judgment of what could happen if they put the work in. Like, all right, is this what it's supposed to do? And you know, when you were going over all that, it really started to ring in my head. The logo for my business it's got pieces to it, but the backdrop is a diamond. Yeah. So when you're sitting there and you're talking, exactly, you're shaving the diamonds. And that's, I believe every single one of us is a diamond in the world, and we're meant to shine. And we go through the tougher experiences to rub the dust off, to cut the diamond. And as you were talking, it's really forming in my head with how we're going over the work you got to put in the meantime. You could be the one to cut that diamond to the size it needs to be. It doesn't have to be the outside forces. You could be the one that's shaping it, that's rubbing it down, make sure it shines the right way, because you put the nitty-gritty time. Yeah. If you feel that you've got something that this world needs or you can give to the world, don't fear the judgments of other people. Find that oneness that we're going over in yourself, believe in yourself, and watch as that starts to shine brighter to other people. Yeah. You know?
I agree. And that's a great example. I love the diamond example. I actually saw that on your website. It's really cool, and I can relate. I think we all can relate to that, but people do struggle with that concept. But I think I've told you this before. we were talking about the mask,
Yep.
how we all wear the mask in one of our videos, and guilty or not, we all wear a mask at some point because we want to look presentable, we want to look smart, we want to look like we get it to, you know, our clients, our families, our kids, whatever, our parents, our friends, our boyfriends, girlfriends. We wear this little bit of a mask to show that we're confident and we got everything together, when in actuality we're kind of hiding. And I remember when I first started teaching my class and I got certified and I was like feeling good and I used to be a dancer and everything's great. But the classes were great, but I remember going to work saying, okay, I'm going to work out with everybody, I'm going to train them, I'm going to do my Pilates. People liked it, but I viewed it as work and I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I liked it. And I didn't love it as much as I do now. And then I went through this huge, what I thought was catastrophic experience. And all of a sudden I'm like, why are my classes getting better and better and better? Very spiritual.
Yeah.
I have a t-shirt that says spiritual gangster because everybody calls me this Reiki person. And because I infused Reiki and mindfulness and affirmations and then the core workout. And I have all this stuff that I've infused and I kind of wing it every day. I'm like, I look at the class, I do a 2-second assessment, and I'm like, I'm going to do this today.
Nice.
It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was able to go inward.
Yeah.
Like through the pain that I went through, I was able to go deep inside and say, this hurts.
Yeah.
This hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel this. I'm going to embrace it. But then, why does work get better when you go through something bad? Why?
Yeah.
Because you're being real with yourself.
Exactly.
You're being real with the world. And I was not afraid to say, people would come up to me and other girls would say, I'm going through the same thing. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're here. I always say, you're here for a reason. You came to this class today for a reason. So let's be mindful. Let's calm our bodies. Let's calm our necks. Let's get into this meditative state and let's do the work together. And it's under an hour and it's the most profound hour that I've ever experienced. It's all of that evolved because of the stuff, because the stuff that happened in the meantime.
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and like it really does. And like you said, like you know, why is it that you start to do better?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I believe that when we go through the tougher, like you say, catastrophic experiences, traumas, whatever it means for
catastrophic to me, what I thought was.
Exactly. And like I think every single person has their own belief of what that is for them. I think we all go through these catastrophic traumas, experiences in our life, pain, and they break us.
Yeah.
But I think they're supposed to break us so we can be remade, because what breaks you actually helps you make you.
Rebuild, yeah.
Exactly. So I believe every time you break and you're shattered, the light shines brighter out of you.
Yes.
So with you going over, Andrea going over her own experiences, it's apparent to me that she started to find her own confidence, that oneness, where she started to shine this light a little bit brighter into her classes, and then she started to grow because she did the study, she did the work, she did everything in the meantime, just like our message right now, to grow into the person she needs to be for everyone else that needs her to continue to do what she does. That's why our message is all about the nitty-gritty stuff.
Right.
Because she put the effort in, because other people behind her need it so she can continue to do her stuff and pull them along the way so they can do their stuff. That's why our light shines brighter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great point. And you know what, Billy, I remember, like it was last night, when I was feeling that pain and those triggers and those sharp pains in my chest. And I remember friends of mine would say, you got to get out, and we're going to take you out, we're going to have dinner and drinks. And I experienced that, but I didn't like it. It was not settling. Yeah. And I remember buying all these self-help books and journals. I love to write. Yeah. I'm not a writer, but I love to get it on paper because I know it works. And that book that I wrote, Getting Mindful Through Trauma, there's a piece of it that I believe in the journaling, and I have friends that don't because the pain is too severe, because you actually have to face it, feel it, embrace it, and then that's how it releases. Exactly. And I got all of that out of my system because I actually did the work. It was my own therapy. I didn't really believe in the talk therapy. We've talked about that before. Yeah. I went to a doctor and it just didn't work for me, and I wanted to sit alone. Yep. For 2 years, I did my own work. Yeah. And it was mindful and therapeutic. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. But when I was able to get it all on paper, and I stopped going out because it wasn't emotionally stimulating to me to be out in a bar, you know, exposing that I'm single now, and I just, I tried it, and I'm like, this is so surface.
Yeah.
This is so external.
Exactly.
And it's not who I am, and I know I needed to go in, and as soon as I started to go inward, in the meantime, see how all of this correlates into this tree, I started to feel better. And I remember staying up until 1, 2, sometimes even 3 o'clock in the morning. And if anybody saw what was on my bed, and I was propped up with my pillows and all my journals and all my books, and I'm writing my life away, anybody else would say, what are you doing? Like, what are you preparing for? Well, you know what? I was preparing for life. I was preparing for me. I wanted to reintroduce myself to me. Not to impress. And to get accolades, and things did start happening. People did start saying, you are so different. You are so grounded. Those were the words. And that's, to me, the biggest compliment in the world when somebody calls you grounded.
Yeah, that's powerful. Exactly.
So,
no, and I agree to everything you just said. And you know, you start with it, like, a lot of people in the world deal with situations by, like you said, the clubs, the bars. But you kind of defined it in such a perfect way. It's service level. And if you really want to figure out who you are, the painful moments you go through, I believe, are meant to show you who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you stay at a surface level and you deal with it the way the world tells you to deal with it, like down in drinks, going out, just truthfully having a good time. I'm not saying that
pretending
you're
that you're okay. Pretending that you, like, everything's okay. Come on, let's face it.
Truthfully, inside, the inner part of you, just like Andrew described, there's something in there. And so, but if you stay at surface level, you never get to it. And it's going to start poking its way at you as the years go on. And I've seen this in clients and everything. And until we dig down past that surface level to get to that inner person, that oneness in you, that's when the real you really starts to climb out and go, here's the strength that I had. If I didn't spend all my time running away from instead of dealing with what I had to deal with, I could have had this a long time ago. Andrea just said she spent 2 years with her journals and everything, trying to figure out who she is, coming to a better person. And then she even touched on things started to happen after that. If you stay at that surface level, things will pop up. I don't doubt that at all. I believe that there are blessings with your name on it on their way to you. But when you can actually do the nitty-gritty stuff to get in there at who you are, and you can come out stronger, the blessings are there for you, but you can walk with a confidence into those blessings. You can walk with yourself in such a way because you know who you are. And that's better than the judgments that you're worried about from the other people that are trying to say things to you.
I remember sitting in my backyard by myself, missing my kids, and looking at the sky, and it was an open sky, and there was stars out, everything was clear. I wasn't clear, but the sky was clear, and that's kind of what I needed. And trees, I could hear animals in the woods, and I have this waterfall in my backyard. I have a little frog pond, and I turn on the waterfall, and there's the sound of the water. Well, I just remember 2 years ago sitting there so terrified and confused of what is next. What is going to come of this? And friends would invite me to go out and this and that, and you got to start dating right away. You know, you got to just put that face on, and you got to just get yourself out there and start dating. And as soon as I started to decline all the external, and I tried all that stuff, which made me feel like physically sick because I knew that my mind and body and my heart was not ready for anything but me, just to be with me. And when I started to turn everything away and go inward, that's when the process, that's when it all started to, the pieces of this puzzle, because we're all a puzzle, started to all come together. That's when people started to say, why, something's going on with you. Are you in a serious relationship? I'm like, no. Yeah, I am, with me. And I became a better mother and a better daughter and a better friend, and all of that stuff just sort of without trying. There was just no trying. It was a process that I get it now, but I didn't understand why the pieces were just coming together pretty fast. It's because I was doing the work. I was going inside. I was going inward, which is what our favorite author that I always bring this book to all of our sessions, Dr. Joe Dispenza, neuroscientist, Becoming Supernatural, like my favorite book in the whole world. Just getting into the brain, that it's life-changing when you are calm.
Exactly.
When you are mindful, when you've learned how to take a few minutes alone and I hate to, people think meditate. Oh, here she goes with her, meditation speech. Yeah, to stop and just let things sink in and allow. Just be. Just allow. And kind of sit back and life does unfold in front of you.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with that, with everything. And, it's in my head too, because you were talking about that we just went into a very oneness topic and everything. Yeah. But with your spirit and everything, just one last piece on it. I believe every single problem you have is a moment for your spirit to grow. And just like you talk about your traumas you went through, me with everything I went through, or you with everything that you have been through or are currently going through, it's a moment for you to grow. But if you don't put the nitty-grittiness in and put the time in on the stuff that you really don't even want to do, you don't even want to look at it, but you know that there's something on the end of that wall.
Yeah.
Put the work in. And this, I'll reel it back in, but this entire video started because we talked about websites and how we have to put the nitty-grittiness in to get our businesses to the next level.
Right.
That stemmed into a self nitty-grittiness aspect right there. And whether you're watching this video trying to find yourself, or whether you're watching this video because you needed something to spark something in you for your business, the nitty-grittiness stuff is always going to be there. Whether you're from point 1 to point 2 and you're just waiting for point 2 to start, point 1's done, you know what to do. What you do in the meantime right there is going to define what point 2 does.
That's right.
With a business, with an opportunity that you have, whatever it is, but you want to make sure after point 1, you are stronger enough to get to point 2. So your business can flourish, or
relationships,
or you as a person. If point 1 was a devastating moment for you, and you don't want point 2 to be a devastating moment for you, put the nitty-grittiness in, just like Andrea just went over with us.
Yeah.
And just watch what happens to point 2. And then just try to imagine how great point 3 could be, point 4, point 5. Point 10 could be the best thing in your life that could happen. You can find the person you're looking for, your business could launch off the map. But if you don't put the nitty-grittiness in the meantime, where's it going to be? Andrea, you hit the nail on the head in all these ways.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Another message too, and I know this sounds daunting, don't be afraid to walk through the trenches. And I know that sounds negative, but I'm so grateful for my experience. And I'm so grateful for walking through, and I remember not having an appetite and not feeling right. And I also remember, on a positive note, how fun it was. This sounds ridiculous, but how fun it was to turn things down, to say, I'm going to stay in tonight on a Saturday night by myself. I'm going to get my journals out, and being more excited about that, shutting down and disconnecting and diving into my work and the books and the writing and the journals. And I was so sort of embarrassed. I had the mask on too, to tell my friends that I was doing that. Because I know a few of them said, I remember a few of them saying, really? Just do this on a Monday morning. You need to get out. And I'm like, you know what? I know what I need right now.
No, exactly.
Also, thank you for, looking out for me in the way that you think is okay, but nobody can really tell you what to do. I welcome that experience, walking through the trenches, and I am grateful that all of it happened. And I mean all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shapes who you are.
Yeah.
And it's funny, one last, we'll close out this video.
We'll close it.
But,
we have to close this.
Like you said, with your friends asking you, but you were more excited to put the work on yourself. My friends get upset with me sometimes because, oh, Billy, you want to go out tonight? I say, I got to go put work in on the next speaking gig. Dude, you're always working. And I was like, I enjoy it though, because I know where it's getting me. I love spending time with my friends, but if I have the opportunity to get to something more, something better, the next level, I'm going to put the time in. And if there's any message that you get out of this, stop procrastinating.
Right.
You know, and that's something we wanted to go over, but I think you kind of got the hint with that. If you stop self-actualize,
Yes.
put the work in the
Yep.
meantime, nitty-gritty and
Yes.
stuff. Don't procrastinate anymore on you, on your goals,
Yeah.
to the level you want to get to. Put the time in, even if it's like in your head, it's just like, I just don't want to do it whatsoever. I can say from experience, I know Andrea can too, because we just went over it. It's incredible what's on the other end of that wall.
Yeah.
Stop procrastinating, put the time in, the nitty-grittiness in the meantime, and just watch what happens to your life.
You'll know when you get to the other side, because I never thought, when people would say the other side, that was a whole other feeling. Like, what do you mean about the other side? What does that feel like? You get there.
Yeah.
And when you're there, you wake up without physical pain, without what if, without fear. You get up and say, I'm here, I'm breathing, I feel smart, I just feel clarity today. I don't know where I'm going at 3 o'clock, but I've navigated this path, and I'm gonna be fine. And it's okay to not have the client that day, to not have that plan that night or that week, to not, you're
at peace.
You're self-actualized.
Yeah.
It's okay, and you don't fear the outcome. So
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our message.
Yeah. Andrea, thank you for being back on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good to be back.
Guys, like this video so we can spread it to more people. Share it. If this message impacted you, or you know someone that this message could impact, send it to them. If they're in the trenches right now, if they're trying to put the work in, if they don't know how, send this message to them. It might be able to help them get to that next level. And guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can get this out there as much as we can. But if you have any questions on this, comment, and Andrea and I will comment back to you and help you out in whatever way we can, because that's what we do. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Andrea, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
Have a
Bye,
good one,
guys.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.